Hey friends, Mark Holmes here with the Pissed Off Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. And it is finally the weekend, and thank God it's the weekend. Whew, it's been a rough week. I started a new job, and it's really exciting because I'm working down at Smithsonian, and I'm seeing some of these great buildings, places that you never get to see. At least most people don't, so I feel blessed about that. It's just, of course, getting used to the new job. Now, I'm going to try and live stream tomorrow night, maybe 9 o'clock Eastern, because we haven't done it in a while, and I'm just trying to get some stuff together, and hopefully we can do that. But the interesting news, of course, is about Myles Garrett. Let's watch that clip real quick, and then we'll come back and talk about it. Because it was basically a message to Jerry Jones that he wants to be a Dallas Cowboy and to do whatever it takes to get it. So let's watch that clip, and we'll come back.
I'm speaking to you, Jerry. Mr. Garrett, make it happen. Dak Prescott is leading our team right now. I need you to take Tony Romo, take a couple picks, and give them to Cleveland so you can pick me up, please. I'd love to play in Dallas. Just make it happen.
So, wow. That would be fantastic to have him on the team. I can't lie. I would love to see him on the edge, especially if we could sign Calais Campbell with that. That would be a monster defense that would just not quit. However, unless he slips in the draft, and that is a possibility because I got to tell you, he's definitely pissed off some Browns fans with basically saying, I don't want to come there. So it may hurt his draft stock a little bit, but it's got to be hurt a hell of a lot more if the Dallas Cowboys have a chance to get him. But you never know, because GMs start looking at that saying, oh, okay, so this guy is kind of arrogant. He might be a loose cannon, and they may start rethinking whether or not they want to bring that guy on their team. Now, do I think he'll drop all the way to 28 because of that? No, it's going to have to be some other things that'll have to happen for that to come to fruition. So, of course, a lot of you guys are thinking, yeah, we can trade up and get him. If we just take a couple of picks and stuff, we'll be able to grab that guy. Well, that sounds great in theory. I think when I was driving home, when I gave you guys a few big draft day trades where people have moved up, and I may not have been exact on the number, so I went ahead and got that together before I did this video. But here's the thing. We have the 28th draft pick, which in essence is almost, you might as well say, a second round draft pick because you're so late. The premier players are already going to be drafted. The Browns have the number 1 pick. So you're talking about moving up 28 spots. Almost unprecedented. So in the past, the Washington Redskins had the 6th pick in the draft, and they wanted to get RG3. So they traded up to the 2nd pick. You know what that cost them? 3 number 1s and a 2nd round. That's pretty steep. And when you think about how RG3 didn't pan out for him except for that 1 year, that set the franchise back quite a bit. Imagine if those 3 number 1s had been productive players on the team. Might have been a different team. Okay, the Rams. They moved up to get Jared Goff. They went from 15 to 1. So a little over halfway where we are. They ended up giving up 2 number 1s, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds to move up 14 spots. That's a lot. Now, the problem for them is, right now, Jared Goff looks like a bust. So what you in essence gave up is 6 guys to get that 1. And if you miss, you're screwed. The Rams are screwed. They don't have a 1st, a 2nd, or a 3rd next year. And they don't have a quarterback. Think about that. They don't have a 1st, a 2nd, and a 3rd next year, and they don't have a quarterback. Yeah, good luck with that. Even the Eagles, they traded up so they could get Pennsylvania. And they gave up 2 number 1s, a 3rd, a 2nd, and a 4th. Still a lot for Carson Wentz, although that one looks like so far might not be so bad, but we'll have to wait a few years to know for sure. That's one of the few so far that have worked out. But then you look at Mike Ditka with the Saints. They went from the 12th pick, trading up with the Redskins for the 5th, giving up 8, let me say again, 8 draft picks. Their whole draft for Ricky Williams. One guy. Didn't work out very well in New Orleans for him because Ricky was shipped to Miami and Mike Ditka was shipped to the farm. So when you look at these blockbuster moves to reach for a guy, in our own past experience where we took a 2nd and a 1st to move up for Morris Claiborne, more times than not, they end up being the RG3 deals that set you back as opposed to the Eli Manning ones. And what it would take for us to go from 28 to number 1? Nah. We have too many holes to fill. We need probably wide receivers because you've got Williams and Bryce Butler's free agents. May need an offensive lineman because Ron Leary is not going to, he's got too much money. We got to pay him, so he's not going to be there. We need an edge rusher. Of course, if we traded up, we'd get that with him. But we're going to lose some of our cornerbacks. So we're talking about Morris Claiborne. We're talking about Brandon Carr, Church, Wilcox. Those guys are all free agents. So we need more draft picks. And when you look around at the teams that are successful, your New England's, and that's who, as much as I hate them, you need to model yourself after. What New England values is creating more picks. Not getting rid of them. Creating more picks. You're better off trading back and creating more picks. Because here's the thing. There's no such thing as a sure thing in the NFL. Forget about the can't miss picks that they tell you about. When they tell you that, Jared Goff is NFL ready. Yeah, how'd that work out? To me, at best, every draft pick, I don't care if you're talking about a 1st round, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, or 5th round draft pick. It's a crapshoot. You got a 50-50 shot of that guy being an NFL player for you. You could take the example of Tony Mandarich, who was going to revolutionize the offensive line. Worked out on Muscle Beach, had muscles coming out his ears. Got to the NFL, couldn't play. And then you take a guy like Charles Haley, who was at a Division 1A, JMU, that never had a winning record. Gets drafted by San Francisco and has 5 rings. So your best bet is create as many opportunities. The more guys you get, the more likelihood you're going to have players that stick. Look at our draft this year. Dak Prescott, 4th round. Collins, 3rd round. Brown, 6th round, I believe. Yeah. So when you start talking about giving up 2nd, 3rd round picks and all that, no. You want to draft these young guys. You want as many opportunities you can to get your Browns, your Collins, your Dak Prescotts. Now, what do I know? I'm just a guy with a voodoo doll who forgot to give him a refill. And you see, he's giving me the finger. So what do I know? So as always, friends, thank you for watching, subscribing, and being a big part of the Jobu Sports Report. We'll be live streaming tomorrow night at 9 Eastern. And hopefully Jobu won't be pissed at me for much longer. Have a great night and a great weekend.
Hello friends, Cowboy Jobu here at the Jobu Sports Report. Unfortunately, I have some bad news. Turns out the next tour doesn't start till 3:30 and I've got a 5 o'clock flight out of Dallas Love Field. However, the wonderful people from the Dallas Cowboys, and I'm talking about you, Jerry Jones, have allowed me to come in and show you something incredible. That, my friends, are Super Bowl trophies. In case you Eagle fans didn't know, I'm Cowboy Jobu, wanting a 6th Super Bowl trophy. Back to you in the studio.